What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright guys, we're back at it in the forest. This is part 2 of the 2-part video series, me camping some ridiculous forest invaders. Alright, let's just kind of try to tighten up these NPCs. A little light work right here, because actually the challenge doesn't come to when those ridiculous invaders start spawning. And actually sometimes that's not a challenge. Right, but in most cases, due to their tactics, they are pretty much challenging. Actually, let me take that back, because that's kind of misleading. It's not that the tactics are challenging. In most cases, it's their strategies and the equipment that they use that's a challenge. Because what they do, in other words, does it really take a lot of work to spam castings? That's not really difficult, right? Anybody can spam castings. Is it really difficult to hit somebody with a 1200, vitality reducing backstab? That doesn't really take much, especially when you have a hornet ring. So that's why I say it's not necessarily that the hunters themselves are challenging. It's just what they're using that's challenging. Now, the challenging part to any person that invader camps, I would say they are the one that are being challenged, mainly because the odds are against them. Case in point, I'm faced against two guys, right? I'm using no sorceries, no castings, no miracles, no pyros, no nothing. I'm just basically using a straight warrior build with my fancy foot. Now check this out. How did I get double backstabbed? You guys just see that? How in the world did I just get... Not only did I get double backstab, but one of the clowns had a hornet ring. That was ridiculous. And look at him praising the sun like he did something. Get off it. Get off it, dude. Alright, so we're back at it. And I guess this guy was kind of looking for me and he couldn't find me. But I'm here. Right, I'm not far. One thing about me is once I see an invader, you don't have to go look for me. This is not hide and seek. Right, I'll make the job easy for you. Because that's one thing about me. I love PvP. Right, this is not, I'm not new to the game. I remember when the game was first released. I absolutely dreaded staying in human form because I got tired of those pesky invaders. Right, because those guys, it seemed like whenever you'll get some place in the game, here comes an invader, just hating on your game. Now see, this is the type of player that I hate, and this is why I'm kind of giving them the, the aggro, the aggravated type of deal. Because he's not doing anything, he's turtling. These guys suck. He's not doing anything but turtling. Trying to fight me, hiding behind his shield. These guys are ridiculous. I have no respect for these guys. So what am I going to do? Try to bleed them out. That's the only thing that you can do with these guys. You can't do anything else. Look at him. That's his tactic. Sit behind the shield, poke with a rapier. Get over it, dude, with his little ridiculous mask of the child. Ugh. Come on. Come on, the bleed has got to accumulate sooner or later. There we go. There we go. Same tactic. I have absolutely no respect for these guys. And actually it looks like he has a hornet ring as well. Yep, sure does. Well, actually, I'm not really sure. Let me kind of take another look at that. I'm pretty sure he'll try to backstab me again, so I know it's coming. And I have to hurry up and spam this R1 attack, mainly because I have another invader. Now, am I worried about spamming the R1? Look at him. That's their bread and butter. And how much you want to bet that he has a hornet ring? Let's just see. If he don't start spamming attacks, he's going to hit me with the hornet ring. Now, he obviously sees that I don't have a hornet. But I can almost guarantee this winner has one. Watch. Yep. See? What a winner. What a winner. These guys are nothing without their little hornet rings. Be that as it may, we're back at it. Sorry, dude. Sorry about that, bro. Tighten up the little bandit. Get my souls back. Now let's see, who do we have this time? Please don't be the turtle. Oh, the high-speed hornet guy. With his little fancy-dancy Wrath of the Gods. So let's see what kind of tactics he have. And actually, I already know his tactics. He's going to try to BS me. But luckily enough for me, it looks like he's using the full armor set, which has 0 poise. Which is a good thing. Because at least I can try to fend against his little ridiculous hornet ring. But I already know the Wrath of the Gods are going to come in a second. And to the extent that he can close it. Because if you notice, he's not doing any attacks. No attacks. Try to close the distance with this little Wrath of the Gods. Which is not really doing much. Especially when you have an arrow in your head. Right? Alright. Let's see what the next guy's got to offer. Now some of you guys may say, holy camoly, look at those souls. Well, dude, I'm 235. Right? So at 235, you get like 200,000 souls per victory. Alright, tighten him up with the backstab, and I don't care about chaining this type of dude because he's nothing but a turtle. Look at him running off. Get over it. Take that arrow to the back. Right in the middle of your spinal column. Alright, so he's casting Great Magic Barrier. It looks like I think I've fought him before. Maybe this is a different... Why is this guy bowing? Hey, look. Peep game for all you new guys. Or even you guys that may know me and you catch me in the forest. If you see me in the forest, I mean, kind of cut it out with your little honor dude routine. Right? Because this is the forest. You know, and even if, you know... Because in other words, I do acknowledge that maybe some guys, they may say, holy crap, I know that dude. Let me kind of give them... I understand that. I also understand that some of you guys are in the honor brigade and, you know, no matter what the situation, no matter where you are, it just will kill you if you don't bow. You know what? I understand that too. But look, dude, not in the forest, right? And if you do it in the forest and you get kicked or hit, I mean, don't try to, you know, reduce your opponent to, oh, they're dishonorable. Look, dude, I'm going to say this again. The odds are against me at this point, right? I'm by myself. Look at these winners. Look at these guys. I guess that's his artificial display of power. Keep spamming the Wrath of Gods. These guys suck. Anyway, as I was saying, you guys have to understand the circumstances under which I fight. Number one, I'm by myself. When you guys invade, you don't know if there's another invader here. Right? So you guys may give me a gesture, right? And perhaps I'm not gesturing, not because I'm trying to be rude, but I may know that there's another invader here. And do I want to get sucked into a backstab because I'm trying to return a gesture and another guy is some kind of bloodthirsty, ridiculous invader? No. Right? So it's not that someone's just trying to, you know, is putting forth an open display of dishonor and character and all this other nonsense. It's not always about that, dude. Everybody's not thinking that deep into this video game. It's just that I'm in the forest. The odds are against me. And I do not want to become a victim by trying to be polite to someone who's offering a gesture. Right? So it's not about that. Now, you catch me somewhere else, I'll return a gesture. Who cares about that? Based upon the distance, if you're too close, I might not gesture. Because I don't know if you're the type of guy who's trying to trick me by gesturing first and then you backstab. I don't know what type of player you are. So, you know, if it's a, you know, if the distance is great enough, and more likely than not, I'll gesture back, especially in the Berg. And as a matter of fact, you guys, I mean, I have enough videos to demonstrate, especially with my videos in the berg, to demonstrate that I do gesture. I may not always bow, but at least I'll wave, you know. In most cases, I'll wave. Sometimes I'll give a shrug, for which, I mean, it's nothing but a gesture. Some of you guys kind of read way too much into this video game. Alright, so, I mean, that basically covers gesturing in the forest. Alright, I think this is one of those winners with his little wrath of gods and his artificial display of power, right? Because that's how he shows it. Spamming wrath of the gods after he kills me. I guess that meant something. Well, I'll have something that means something too, right? Alright, another sneaky forest guy with his little fog ring. Trying to hit me off with his little crystal soul spears when I'm not looking. Now he's running. Get off it, dude. Guys like that I kind of put on my block list. I hate guys like that. And actually I cut the scene because he ended up hiding out for like 5 minutes. I actually had to commit suicide just to get a good match in. Alright. What's next? Alright, good old Mask of the Child. Let's see what this guy's got to offer. Look like he's going in for a... Okay, I can almost guarantee this guy has a Hornet Ring. Now, for you guys that are learning to parry, you know, we all have to learn, you know, what works best. But, you know, that run up to you and parry method, I knew it. That run up to your opponent and parry method, I mean, this is all I would say. It's kind of better to try to learn patterns in parry than to just sit around here and parry over and over and over and over again. Because it just looks like you're just throwing them out there, but you're not really predicting. To the extent that you watch a player play, you know, and it seems as if they're kind of calculating their parries, they kind of look better in my personal opinion. Because I've seen some guys, you know, they may throw out like 50 parry attempts in one match. And then on the 51st, they'll look at you and they'll say, you know, look at that parry. Like, come on, dude. What do you mean, look at that parry? You were just throwing out tons of blind parries, and eventually you'll get one. I'd like to liken the situation to going to the bar. Alright, it's kind of like, you know, any dweeb can kind of go to the bar and hit on every female. Right? You may hit on 100 females, and you hit on the 101st, and you would say, look, I mean, I'm a big shot player. No, you don't. I mean, eventually somebody's going to give in. Right? So to the extent that you guys are kind of learn how to parry, and I'm not talking about the setup parry, because the setup parry technique is pretty easy. But to the extent that you're trying to get better on your parrying, kind of study attack patterns. You know, kind of try to say, now, I won't tell you guys what, you know, because actually I think my patterns are pretty effective. There's only certain times that I try to parry. Right? It's very rare, and if you guys pay close attention to my videos, you will notice that there are certain times that I throw out a parry and times that I don't. And that's because there are certain times that people attack. Right? The only example, I'll only give you guys one example, and I think because it's kind of like a universal example. Come on, guy, with your little spamming wrath of the gods. And that example is the attack right out of a roll. If you notice, a lot of guys will roll and then hit the R1 attack. And in most cases, if you watch my video, now I'm not saying that I'll hit the parry, a successful parry every single time, but what you will see is, in most cases, I hit the parry as soon as I see a roll. Mainly because many people attack right out of a roll. Now, some people just roll and they don't attack, for which obviously going to be unsuccessful. But if you notice, a lot of times I'll hit a parry right after a roll, and in many cases it's successful because that's a pattern. There's other times that seem to be patterns that people attack. Now, I won't tell you guys those. You guys are going to have to learn those on yourself, you know, on your own. But you guys that just do that run up to you and parry method, I mean, just kind of try to notice some patterns. That's all I'll say. Right? Alright. So I hope you guys are enjoying the two-part series so far. I mean, granted, I'm not doing the normal hornet ring type thing. But, I mean, I don't need a hornet ring. I mean, it's cool. I don't mind getting hornet ringed. It is what it is. Alright, so this guy's kind of ticked off. And actually, I don't know why I missed that parry. Should have been dead on. But, I mean, it is what it is. Ouch. Actually, I luckily escaped that one. See? Guys like this. Granted, he may be decent, right? But what is he going to do without his hornet ring? Nothing. Right? Nothing right now. He's not doing anything now. But what will these guys really do without their little, well, not hornet rings, I'm sorry. What would these guys do without their dark wood grain rings? That guy had on a giant shield, a sword that weighed like 10 units, and he had medium armor and some heavy pieces. That guy wouldn't even exist. Here's another example. This is a classic. Housewife. Full giants, dark wood grain ring, and how much money you want to bet he has a hornet ring? No respect for these fours, guys. No respect at all. Watch, he's going to shoot straight in for the BS. I know it. Come on, dude. What I tell you. Watch he gesture. How much you want to bet it? See what I tell you. See, this guys like this think he's a big shot. Mask of the Mother. Vitality build. He's got his buff. Hornet ring. No respect. Alright. So we're back at it. Let's see who's next. Alright, that name kind of looks familiar. Oh, okay. He's right behind me. Oh, actually, that's a different guy. So now I'm in trouble. I think he's going to try to... And actually, I'm not really sure. But I think you have to be in full dragon form. Okay, looks like he's trying to hit me with that dragon head glitch. If you notice, his back was toward me, and then after that, he tried to face me real quick. So I think that was a failed attempt. So let me kind of off this guy. Alright, mission accomplished. Now, where's the first invader? I know he's hiding out somewhere. Magician God. 1333. Oh. Magician God 333. Whatever, dude. Get off it. Come on, dude. Oh, there he is. Okay, back in the back. Alright. Same thing. Giant's breastplate. Havel's leggings. He's got his try-hard buff, Mask of the Mother, Darkwood Grain Ring. Whatever. I can almost guarantee he's going to come in for a backstab. Come on, dude. I know it's coming. And I bet he think he's a hotshot. Right? But my thing is, using armor pieces with the highest stats, highest poise, and a buff doesn't make you a hotshot, in my opinion. Right? Because in most cases, well, don't have to talk about most cases anymore. Right? You should have used a little NyQuil for that poison. Right? You should have used a little Benadryl for that. That's what you get. Hopefully you'll come back with without the try-hard tactics. Alright, so it looks like we've got the wolf head dude back again. And I'm thinking you need to be in full dragon form to be able to pop me off with the Dragon Bowl one hit KO basically. So hopefully he won't be in full dragon form. But I know he has a bow, so I'm not sure if you need to be in full dragon form or is just the dragon head sufficient. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. Because here he goes with his little fancy dancy bows. Come on, dude. Okay, and he's using a whip, so maybe he's just trolling. Maybe he's being funny. Right? Maybe he's having fun. But I don't really care about fun. Right? You're an invader and I'm trying to get rid of you, dude. And actually, I thought he was trying to do the glitch because he gave me his back. I thought if he would have turned around real quick, I know he would have tried to hit me off with a glitch. And he probably was trying to hit me off with it. He just didn't do it fast enough. For which, I don't know why guys would use glitches in online PvP. Right? Do all that stuff offline. I've said this time and time again. You guys want to hit your little infinite health and infinite endurance and infinite all that. Do it in offline mode. Don't spoil PvP. Right? Because on the console, do I use glitches? Of course I do. I use the dragon head for fast leveling. Right? And I also use the bottomless box glitch to create builds. I do uploads, I do a lot of PvP, and I create a lot of builds, right? If I did not have a way to create a lot of builds, I would probably no longer PvP, bottom line. Because I refuse to spend 5 hours to create a build for a game that I've had for nearly a year. I refuse. I've beaten this game probably at least 75 times, at least. And do I really want to go from point A to point B, beginning to ending, just to create a build? No. Especially when I put forth 5 hours of investment just to find out that I really don't like the build. That's a waste of 5 hours. Right? So, I know some of you guys ask me in my vids, like, dude, how in the world do you get so many plus 15 weapons? Because, dude, I use whatever they have available to help me create my builds. Right now, I've heard some guys say, well, you may not be cheating with regard to your online experiences, but you're still cheating because the weapons you use were gained by cheating means. Guess what, dude? You can say whatever you want to say, but I've put my work in. I've had this game for the longest. I PvP all the time, and I just absolutely refuse to take 5 hours to create a build. Number 2, I absolutely refuse to play through a game 4 and 5 times, just to get 5 or 6 Titanite slabs. I refuse. The drop rate on those Titanite slabs are awful. The drop rates are awful. I think you have to kill perhaps like 20 dark wraiths just to get like 1 slab. Maybe. If that. So why would I really sit up here and try to gain all these slabs when, hey, I could just go ahead and use whatever means that I find in offline mode to get my Titanite slabs. So are you guys in the honor brigade who are into this? Well, you're cheating. You can say whatever you want. But there's me and a lot of guys like me that do a lot of PvP. And hey, whatever I'm going to do to get my equipment up to plus 15 and, boost up my armors, I'll do it. I don't see anything wrong with it. No one will ever be able to say that I've used a glitch during online mode. Right? No one would ever be able to say that. So it is what it is. And I've actually mentioned this in a number of my past videos. Now, for a lot of you new guys who ask me, how do I do it? I'm not telling you, right? Because you new guys do not PvP as much as I do. Right? And you guys haven't put in enough work. Now, If you want some materials, right, and if I know you, I'll give it to you. But will I tell you how do I do it? No, I'm not telling you. Right? Because I don't need any more guys being tempted to use some options in the game that spoils the online experience. I'm not going to do that. I think it should be used responsibly. And this is why in one of my Coliseum videos I talked about the trainer. Because the trainer is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing for those guys that use the trainer during offline mode. Well, actually, I'm sorry. It's a bad thing for people who use the trainer during online mode. It is not a bad thing, in my personal opinion, if you use it during offline mode, like Infinite Souls, for example. Right? Is that cheating? You can say whatever you want to say, but I'm not spending 5 hours to create a build. I've had this game since, when did this game release? I think last October, last November or something like that. So you can say whatever you want to say. I'm not spending 6 hours creating a build, bottom line. So you guys can get over it. I don't care about your comments. Just take it or leave it, right? Suck it up and drive on. With regard to upgrading my weapons, I'm not gonna go through New Game Plus 25 just to get 10 Titanite slabs. I'm not doing it. You guys can forget that. I absolutely hate PvE. Most of my PvP circles are, some of the stream guys, a lot of the guys who do fight clubs, a lot of us do PvP a lot. We have a lot of matches, and that's all we care about. We absolutely hate PvE. Right? So that's it. With regard to you guys who like to ask, how do I get so many, plus 15 weapons or whatnot. Right? This is the PS3 version. I use the bottomless box glitch for my weapons, and I use the dragon head for fast leveling. Right? You'll never catch me using the dragon head for any other purpose other than for fast leveling, and that's it. So enough ranting about that. Alright, so this is and actually I just created this build very quickly, and that's why I didn't take the time to add any details to the facial features or anything like that, because I kind of took my helmet off a little earlier, and actually I never make characters that look like that. It was just basically a quick build that I created for this particular video. And actually, just off the topic, I really hope, and I know, and I'm just going to try to say this as best as I can. I understand that this game was made in Japan, right? And I understand that in the character creation, it is probably a reflection of the vast majority of the people that they think play the game, right? I'll try to be as politically correct as I can. But the fact is, there are a lot of quote-unquote non-white people that play this game, right? And we want to make some brown characters. In other words, I hope in the next Souls game, they kind of have some character options for characters other than what I would say the mainstream. In other words, dude, let's have some hair options for some of us, right? Maybe put in some afros in there. Maybe put a fade in there, right? Put in some gold tees. Let's get some beard options. Let's do something other than your little slick down hair, which I don't have a problem, but I'm tired of all of my characters having to have a bald head because none of the other hair options fit the characteristics that are closer to myself. Right, so I know that's off topic, but I also know that there are some guys that feel the same way that I do because I've read some of the comments. Right? The only way that I can create a character that looks closer to myself is to have a bald head brown dude. Right? But, can we get some short hairstyles? Right? That's not long hair or slick back or a part in the middle. Come on, dude. Put some afros in there, or kind of even if you don't put an afro, put a short haircut, right? That is not straight haired. Right? I know some of you guys may say get off it, but you probably say get off it because you have more characters that kind of similar to yourself. Alright, so hey, any of you guys, any of you developer guys is listening to your video, I mean, kind of take this in consideration with your next Souls game. Right? Give us some kind of mustache and beard options. You know, and for some of us, you know, non-white dudes, give us some more options for your character creations. Right? Because I'm tired of having to have a bald head guy. I mean, I have hair. Right? I'm not rocking a bald head. I mean, just kind of give us maybe a, you know, medium afro or maybe a short fade. You know, you don't. Now, I'm not saying you have to go into no ridiculous dreadlocks. I mean that's kind of ridiculous. You don't have to go into no cornrows. But I mean, a nice short haircut. You know, that's not slick back, or you know, a nice fade or something. I mean, that's decent. You don't have to go into no cornrows. None of that is ridiculous. But please consider that for the next Souls game. Alright guys, I think that's enough ranting for this 2-part video. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Stay tuned for next time. Martyrs Brigade.